right? So we talked about the tunnel versus the bridge, right? I look at that as what I've learned is to lead into the challenges, lead into things that are tough. When I used to work out at the gym, as soon as I felt the burn, I would drop the weights. Oof, that burns, right? Now I've learned to keep going through the burn because I realize that that's when my muscles grow. That's when the change happens, is when the burn starts, right? So we need to create that bridge and we need to lean into going uphill in this business. I'll be honest with you. A lot of people won't make it to partnership in this business, not because the opportunity isn't fair. It's a performance-based opportunity. Anyone can make it. But the average person runs when they start feeling the burn. They don't want to go uphill constantly. And that's why there's only so many, like when you look at the top 1 or 2% that make X amount of money in the world, right? But then it's like 90-something% of people who are not at that level. It's because of that reason. People want to go downhill because it's easy. A lot of people leave this business and go run and jump straight to an hourly wage because this business exposes you. It requires you to be self-disciplined. It requires you to go uphill constantly to achieve your goals. The reward is greater, but the everyday grind is so much easier to go clock into a business and do whatever you want to do and be on IG. And I have friends and stuff that tell me like, man, I get paid $20 an hour and I don't do nothing. Well, we're not really friends like that anymore, but I listen to them and I'm like, after 10 minutes of talking to them, I'm ready to get off the phone, So one thing that's it from that is we need to embrace it. We need to embrace the uphill. We also need to get rid of the quick fix. I see guys 90 days into this business and they're frustrated because they're not where they think that they should be. Like John Maxwell, as you listen to that video, he says that until he got to book number 7, he wrote his 7th book that he wrote was 21 Irrefutable Laws in Leadership. And he wrote 12,000 days straight before he actually had that successful book. And we have guys in this business, 2 months, they had 2 guys quit on them and they got into a sales slump and they're like, I don't want to do this anymore. Right? We got to get away from the quick fix mindset and understand that this is a process. These skills do not get developed overnight. Right? We got to learn how to sell. We got to learn in the sales. We just have had some transitions and differences change in our sales ability, right? With home accounts and things like that. It's imperative that we develop a skill set that no matter what campaign we're on, we're going to be able to sell. We're not product dependent. We're dependent on our skill set. So there's no quick fix in this. And then he says the pay now, play later mentality. And I've been doing this sales game for a minute. And I used to, when I was 23 years old, running my own office, right? The Kintang days when we're talking about that, when I'm training Kintang and stuff, and I'm 23, 24, you guys' age, bossing up and doing the same thing that I'm doing now at your age. I remember interviewing old people. I still do this to this day, right? There's nothing against old people, but guys that are 50, 60 years old interviewing for a job, that motivated the hell out of me to freaking pay now, because I never wanted to be that person. It's sad. It's no knock. I mean, that is not, they're not bad people or anything like that. But I'm like, that person went downhill all those years. And now they're paying the piper at 50, 60 years old, coming and interviewing for a sales job. Still to this day, when we interview, we have guys 50, 60 years old looking for work. That lets me know that that individual took the downhill in their prime years. And now they're realizing it. They're paying now. They played early, right? They coasted. They took that hourly wage. They freaking depended on a company, and then events changed and things happen, and now they're in their 60s. Instead of retired, traveling, enjoying their lives, they're stressed out about paying their bills. And we're young now, but I'm telling you, time goes by quick. You're 24, you'll be 34 before you know it. 44, once you hit 30, those years start coming faster and faster and faster. And as we see now, how time is flying. We're already in the month of May, right? So you just keep coasting and you'll eventually find yourself in that position. And then the last thing here is we have to understand that our habits need to serve us. They don't need to control us. We need to be the ones in control. We need to have our habits serve us by being disciplined every single day. Because we have good habits, we're reaping the rewards from it. That's how it's gonna serve you. Versus bad habits, and now you're always constantly trying to play catch up. You can't pay your bills, money is tight, right? But you've been coasting and going downhill the entire time. So I love this business because it really exposes who has the self-discipline to be successful in this business and in any business, because your character is going to go with you wherever you go, right? It's not, oh, I'm undisciplined selling direct TV, but if I'm selling Mercedes-Benz, I'm going to freaking be disciplined every day. No, you are who you are, and the choices that you make, develop the character that you have right now. So we need to make sure that our habits are serving us, and this is why discipline is it's important to have in order for you to be successful. All right, so we have 7 minutes here. I wanted to reflect on the goal setting, and I just wanted to have you guys just take some time for 7 minutes. I know you guys are gonna need more time with this, but I wanted to give some time to focus on it. So we talked about the 3 areas that we need to set goals in. Who can tell me what those 3 areas outside of Diego and Mo? We had 3 categories. What were they?
Financial, physical, and mental.
Say that one more time, Jonathan.
Financial, physical, and mental.
Correct. Okay. So let's start with the financial. So at the financial, we touched on, I said under that financial umbrella, what are the 3 areas that we need to improve on? And that's going to impact our finances. What were those 3 under that umbrella of financial?
Sales training, and recruiting.
That's correct. Jonathan, you get a gold star. Okay, so let's take some time right now, and I want obviously for you to you understand what you want to, how many sales you want to do, but what I want you guys to do is let's come up with some actionable items that we can do to improve our sales game. Right? So take some time and think about that. Whether it's getting with the top producer in the company and picking their brain and seeing their pitch and their approach and their game plan for the day. If it's reading more sales books or watching more sales videos, right? If it's being more disciplined and preparing in the mornings better and having, territory and stuff all mapped out. If it's having the right mentality, you find yourself struggling to get motivated out there in the field 5 days out of the week, right? If it's creating more competitions with people to push you every single day, finding an accountability partner. Let's write down some actionable things we want to do under that sales label. Let's take 30 seconds to a minute to do that. All right. The second one was sales training, right? So if you haven't had a lot of experience doing sales training, Actionable item is getting with Stephon, getting with my partner and figuring out what I can do to train more. How can I train more? Let's come up with some actionable items. If you have trained, but you haven't developed a leader, right? We need to figure out what is it gonna take to develop a leader? Who's doing good with that? If you're hiring people on your team and they're not sticking long, who has guys on their team that's sticking? Let's find out from them what the heck are they doing. This is a copycat business. I'm not innovative. I can just see success and remix the hell out of it. I'm not coming up with all these creative ideas. I study the people who do well, I learn from them, and I can stay disciplined and follow the program. That's my biggest strength. I'm not that smart, I'm not that creative, I'm not that innovative, but I'm wise enough to see success and I can replicate that and stay consistent at it. Right? So who's doing well with sales training? What can you learn? What could you watch? What could you learn to become a better trainer? There's so much information out there. Let's write down actionable items. The same thing with recruiting. If you haven't been taking out days of observation, what can you do to start changing that? Production. Right? Getting with Stephon, getting with Andy, getting with Ken, getting with your partners, finding out what can you do to start being the ones to get the top guys out to go out with you in the field. Let's create actionable items, guys. So therefore, these next 100 days, we're hitting our goals. But these actionable items are gonna take self-discipline for you to be able to apply them. It can't be 1 or 2 days, like he said, and then you coast downhill the other days. It's a day-by-day activity. So on these calls, what I would do if I were you is I would always just take like one thing from the call, just one thing out of all the content that we have, and I want to put it to action today. If you did that every single day, imagine the amount of growth you would receive. You're gonna surpass your peers in time. Just one thing from the call, what can I apply today? And then actually apply it and just start getting into the habit of that and watch how much you grow. Cool, that's all I have for the call.